Leong, could you start by telling us how Kong Chow Clan Association was started?
Okay, the Kong Chow Clan Association was formed in 1840. So Singapore was founded in 1819 by Stamford Raffles, and that few years the British they actually opened up Singapore Harbour. First they started on the Singapore River. So and during that time they need a lot of labourers, the coolies. So the convenient place for them to get is from China, this Pearl River Delta region, that is Guangdong, because that is the easiest for them to get out of China. And during that time, in fact, 1820 something, a lot of the members from the Kong Chow region came to Singapore already. So when they came to Singapore, they start to form a community to take care of each other, especially in terms of welfare. And the association was formed mainly to provide an accommodation for the Kong Chow people before they get a job for them to stay, and also probably sometimes provide food for them. And it's also a network community to know who so and so and who is who from their own hometown.
So how has the role of the association changed today?
So this role actually maintained all the way until after 1920, and after that the Second World War started, and after the Second World War China went into the communist country. So after that, then there are not many actually immigrants from China. So the association actually so-called perform the role of taking care of the immigrants for I think for the most number of years, more than 100 over years. So after the Second World War, there are actually less Chinese immigrants who came to Singapore. So during that time, the association actually has about thousands to 2,000 over members. So in order to keep themselves alive, they also so-called bring along their hometown culture, arts and culture, and they actually use the association as a base. So that's how lion dance, the Cantonese opera, the dragon dance, the martial arts started in the associations. And during the time, Singapore, we still don't have all these so-called cultural items. So in fact, the indigenous Singapore culture started from all these old Chinese Clan Association, where they brought the culture from China.
I see. So Mr. Leong, who makes up your members now?
Okay, currently we have about 700 members, and in fact, majority of them are above 50 years old. These are the old members of Kong Chow. So the members here, the average so-called age average membership life is about 15 years. So they already has been members for a long time, and there's about probably a small percentage of youth, which is when I say youth, is about less than 30 years old. Those are the youth. So that comprises about 30 to 40 of them. And we also have lately we have a group of so-called kids. We call it the Kong Chow kids. Those are the secondary schools and primary school boys and girls that we actually recruited these few years back.
Could you tell us more about the activities that the association conducts?
Okay. For Kong Chow, we all the time from the very beginning we have lion dance, the dragon dance, the Cantonese opera, the martial arts. And in the 1950s, we started one more activities called the acrobatic cycling. That means the uni wheel cycle. And because some of our members they were in the circus during their during their younger days. So they actually came over here and spread this, teach the Kong Chow members some acrobatic cycling. And until the 60s, we also formed the Special Welfare Committee to take care of the older members. We also have the women's group, means the wife or the woman of the ladies members of our associations. They're also quite active. And we also have the youth group, which was formed lately, about 4 or 5 years back, because the management sees the aging members, and they actually want to bring more new bloods.
Could you tell us more about what your work as head of the Halayan Dance Committee involves?
In fact, before I become the head of the Halayan Dance Group, I was with the Kong Chow Group in the 1970s. I first came here was 1978. During the time I was just a small little boy, and my father was a member here, so he thought I'm too active, you see. So in order to discipline me, he brought me here to be disciplined by the kungfu master. So this is how it all started. So I learned actually martial arts since young until I start to work, going to the working, have my own career. So I have some spare time. So I thought it's time for me to contribute back to the association. So I start to take up some management posts in the association, and they actually, because I was a line dance member, so they assigned me to take care of the line dance group. So now it's about 10 years already.
What is the style of wushu and lion dance that Kong Chow practices?
Okay, Kong Chow, first of all, is a region in China. There's no, in the modern China geography, you can't find Kong Chow. It's an old name. This Kong Chow region represents the Pearl River Delta region. Okay, that is the south of Guangzhou. That means between Guangzhou, Hong Kong, and Macau. That region. And that region during the Qing dynasties, there are many land dance groups, and also there are many types of kung fu style and martial arts during then. Why? Because it's actually spread. It actually passed down from the north, from Fujian down to Guangdong. The reason why there are so many martial arts style during the time is because that region is the most active in anti-Qing movement. You can see from the history, all the anti-Qing movement started from Guangdong. And the martial arts style during the time, they have various, like the Hong Jia Quan, and in terms of the more well-known one, there are so-called five families: Hong, Liu, Cai, Li, Mo. So all this already they have in China. So when the immigrants came to Singapore, a lot of the so-called those earlier batch, they already learned certain style. So when they came here, they start to spread their own style. So in the olden days, we have actually a few style, but because of the so-called not all the style we actually pass on to the next generation. So mine is already considered the third generation in Kong Chow. So currently, we still have about 4 styles of southern. We call it the southern Shaolin martial arts. Okay, the one that is most common now is the Hong Jia Quan. Then the second one is actually the Cai Li Fo. Third one is the Zhou Jia Quan. The fourth one is this Wing Chun. And for me, I learned the Hong Jia Quan more. I focus more on Hong Jia Quan. And this Hong Jia Quan, somehow for the Kong Chow Association, is actually from the direct connection from Wang Fei Hong. Because Wang Fei Hong, he taught martial arts in China, so he has actually 8 disciples. Of these 8 disciples, only 2 actually so-called pass on the skill. So these two are 林世荣, they call it a 猪肉荣 and Ling Yun Kai. So these two the links they actually some they spread to Hong Kong, and because one of our old members he used to travel to Hong Kong, so he actually learned from this Ling Si Rong, and there's also another old members they learn from Ling Yun Kai. So that's how it actually passed on until today. So the kind of martial art we practice for the Hong Chow Clan is considered a traditional type. That means not much has changed from the olden days.
How would you describe the link between Kong Chow Association and Chinatown?
Kong Chow Association actually grew together with Chinatown. It's already 170 years, the association. So the history of Chinatown is also about 170 years. So in fact, it's actually a very important so-called part of Chinatown. And what I associate them is the culture of Chinatown. The Chinese culture was spread, because this is where the Chinese community they gathered. So when they gathered, they bound to have a lot of festival, some celebration, some culture, some arts, and the association is actually the place where all these arts and culture was brought from China to Singapore. That's how it spread.
Okay. Thank you very much.